Awesome. Give me
I'm ready.
Just,
so let me have it.
Yeah, give me 3 seconds. I will start the screening. So I don't want to hear from some startups who don't listen to me very attentively that you forgot that the thing is streamed online. I made the disclosure already. Yeah, perfect. We are live now, guys. And yeah, nice to see you all. And thank you to each and everyone who joined today, to amazing startup founders. We don't have 2 startups from one country today. Everyone is from different countries, and this is our session dedicated to NFT and DeFi and crypto and blockchain, so everything around this super hot industry. And we have amazing number of great, active, recognized, and very, very solid investors today. So let me introduce investors one by one and ask you for a brief, short introduction of your investment strategy and investment thesis so that startups can understand what is your core focus, and other investors can later get in touch with you in order to co-invest together or team up. And the first one who just repaired the sound problems, I want to introduce to you Etienne Van Cruz from the TRGC Capital. Etienne.
Hello, guys. Nice to meet everyone. Honored to be here. Nelly, always a great pleasure being part of whatever you're doing. So my name is Etienne, founding partner at TRGC, based in Amsterdam, BVI, and 2 other partners in New York. Main focus is infrastructure, protocols, developer tools, things to like move the industry forward from a technology perspective. We haven't played that much yet with like gaming or NFTs, but we're picking up there. But the focus is still on infrastructure. Horizon is long term. We take in cycles, like invest now and look over cycles, whatever you're looking for, whatever type of exit. And last thing I could add there, we're pretty active in the sense of support we give our portfolio companies. Really hands-on, really practical in how we want to work with them.
Thanks a lot, Etienne. And you forgot to mention that according to the recent report of the crypto market venture capital state by Cointelegraph, TRGC Capital was considered to be the most active VC firm in 2020, yeah?
Yeah, we were pretty active indeed. We managed to get in a lot of good deals, backing a lot of promising and tenacious founders. So we're happy with the current state of the portfolio.
Yeah.
For some reason, Cointelegraph picked up on that, so we haven't even done anything actively with content or marketing.
Congrats one more time with that.
Thanks.
And thank you for your introduction. And now I want to give a word to Tom Zwardes from DeFi Capital, relatively new VC fund from Europe. Tom?
Yes, hi Nelly, thank you for having me. Yeah, my name is Tom. I'm a fund manager at DeFi Capital. I sometimes jokingly paraphrase a Batman movie, saying most VCs merely adopted DeFi. We were born in it, hence our name, DeFi Capital. Our fund started out with investing in the bigger DeFi protocols, like MakerDAO, Yearn Finance, but also the usual suspects, so Bitcoin, Ethereum. And we actively deploy those assets within DeFi itself, and also participate in voting and community building. And we've recently launched a new fund, which utilizes stable assets like DAI, USDC, to provide liquidity to key DeFi protocols, while also realizing a steady and more low risk return for our investors. Yeah, so our main focus is DeFi and helping it grow and sharing our knowledge and also capital. And that's why we're here today.
Thank you very much, Tom, for your brief intro. And to continue the European trend, I want to invite Jonathan Habich from Moonrock Capital to give a brief intro of your investment thesis.
Yeah, hi guys. First of all, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here with all these great names here today. So that's really, really cool. Yeah, Moonrock Capital founded 2.5 years ago, based in Hamburg, Germany, and in London. We are not focused on anything specific, I would say, from an investment thesis standpoint, as many things in this space are very, very narrative driven, and we try to fit into that, and then rather take these narratives and the projects that operate within a certain space of this industry, and try to make them a long-term success. So that's how we operate as Moonrock. We try to be very, very early. We try to be as hands-on as possible, and work with these projects on a long-term basis, trying to make them a huge success.
Amazing. And you also have the incubation facilities in Moonrock Capital, correct?
Yeah, that's what I mean with as early as possible. So we did a couple of these incubations, Polka Starter, Polkamon, to name two of the most successful ones. Where the projects basically came to us with just an idea, and we designed everything moving forward from that. So yeah, that's a big part of what we do. We're not doing too many of those because this is very, very time consuming, as you can imagine. But yeah, it's something we enjoy doing, definitely.
Amazing. Thank you, Jonathan. And
Thank you.
want to jump now to the Asian, sorry, I'm really jumping, to the Asian part of the planet. And I want to give a word to Yushan Zheng, who is the new participant in our VC Shark Tank. He is first time today here, the founding partner at Waterdrip Capital from China. Yushan, can you please briefly introduce your firm and investment thesis?
Sure, no problem. Thank you, guys. Very glad to be here. It's my first time here presenting my firm, and also to communicate with more colleagues. And I see some friends, for example, Jonathan from Moonrock. We have a lot of connections, and they introduced some projects to us. Thank you, Jonathan. And let me give you a brief introduction about Waterdrip Capital. So actually, we are a token fund based in China, and we were founded in 2017. And we focus on many areas, actually. For example, the public chains and the protocol layers, and also some applications, especially cross-chain applications, DeFi applications, and DAO applications. So we invested totally more than 100 projects in the past 3 years. And in addition to investment, we can help the projects that we have invested on many aspects. For example, we are the shareholders of a few media. For example, the Cointelegraph China, we are their shareholder. And also Bitwires and Lichang.io. Those are very famous media in China, and we are their equity holders, all of them. And also we are the founding supernode of Noah Club. Noah Club is an investment institution alliance. So it covers almost all the resources in the blockchain field in China, including the media, the exchanges, and also the communities. In addition to that, the projects that we invest, it will also become the focus objects of many other investment communities, such as the Dolphin community. We have a very deep connection with them, and they can bring a lot of traffic and some users to those projects. And the last but not the least, we also have a very close relationship with some developers community. For example, the one community is called Free Code Camp. It is very active in China. It has more than 150 members, developers in China. So all of those projects, no matter it's from domestic or overseas, we can introduce developers to them. And they also host hundreds of online or offline technique meetings or meetups or hackathons in many areas. So we not only invest, but also we incubate and help those projects that for their marketing, for their developers community, and many other aspects in China.
Wow, thank you very much. It really sounds very impressive. And I remember that I've seen a logo of Waterdrip Capital in many pitch decks and in many websites of the IDOs and startups who go to the public launch. So it is definitely the proof that you are super active in the community. Thank you for the intro. Yeah. And I want to give a word to Alex from Cryptomeria Capital. I know he works very closely with Waterdrip Capital as well.
Yeah, well, so I'm Alex, I'm managing partner of Cryptomeria Capital. So yes, some friends on this online event, on this pitch session. Yeah, so technically we're based in Asia, yeah, but actually we invest globally. So we invest in pre-seed and seed rounds mostly. Our main focus is on DeFi space related to solutions, NFT ecosystem projects, and so on. Also, we are members of several DAOs, which invest in projects or NFT arts. I have a lot of resources in China as well. We're really deep with a lot of funds and in some rounds, so we lead the fundraising with our partners from Asia. Also, we have kind of umbrella structure, which includes not only our own resources in China, like our own media group in China and so on, but also resources by our partners from Korea, like Fagblog, Korea Blockchain Week, Cointelegraph Korea, and also from Thailand as well. So we act as strategic investor, and the main focus in our portfolio, in our future investments is product and long-term visions by the founding teams.
Awesome, Alex. Thank you very much. And I know you invested in a number of startups from InnMind deal flow from the last Shark Tank. So thanks a lot for being here. I'm really glad to see you. And I want to give the word to Charlie Yushan, who managing partner at Carbon Blue Innovations, which, if I remember correctly, made a rebranding not long ago. Charlie, would you like to make a brief intro of your investment?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm actually outside. It's late night here. Can everybody hear me? Yes, this is Charlie from Shanghai, and actually some good friends and some familiar faces here in the chat. Very nice to meet you guys. Recently investing a lot of DeFi and NFT project. Used to be one of the founder for Polkadot China ecosystem community called Pokerbase. Helped and translate a lot of Polkadot early articles from 2018 till now. Was the main interpreter for Gavin Wood, Reinzer, during most of the Polkadot China events. I think from last year we started to do more research on NFT and advising multiple NFT projects, and actually talking to a lot of the interesting IDO platforms for the launchpad, and also advising several Web3 Foundation granted Polkadot project, and two actually are going for Polka Starter now. One is called a Sido, one is called a Standard, and both are doing very well, receiving a lot of interest from the community side and so on. Very nice to meet everybody. I think one of the things I can provide is the knowledge of building ecosystem. In the last 3 years, we've been helping a lot of developers to set up their kind of the foundation, validate their assumption, to talk to a lot of communities, and also reach out to interesting influencers and to kind of receive the momentum and get feedback and internationalize, their community. A lot of projects in DeFi ones, NFT project actually ask me to help them to figure out their go-to-market strategy in China. The branding, the content adoption, all that is very important. by all means, a lot of people who are able to tell their story and narrative well in China can bring very good success. I think that happened in the last 6 months. That we see a lot of really good growth projects that are doing very well in the Western communities. They find their ways to, adopt in China. We, integrate with the Chinese community here. So I think the other things I think I can provide is the experience with the developer communities. Very good friends and investor with Dora Factory and Dora Hacks, some of the very experienced hackathon organizer in China. A lot of online hackathons we're organizing this year, which we are onboarding a lot of new developers with interesting ideas that can be good for a lot of investment funds here today. Because a lot of people I see, they want to invest in early stage, seed stage project, right? And I think we can find a lot of interesting cutting edge ideas from those hackathons. Have been organizer for multiple hackathons in the last 3 years. So yeah, I'm very curious to hear and then listen to other new friends talk about what are the experience this year. For me, I'm very bullish on NFT. I think this is really one of the 100x year for this sector. Yeah, very looking forward to talk to everybody here.
Charlie, thank you so much for this brief overview, and I'm happy to hear that you are super bullish on NFT, because you will see at least half of the projects today, they're working with something in NFT field. And it is great that you are open for collaboration with other investors, because I remind you that after this session, I will not just introduce founders with VCs, but I will gladly introduce VCs to VCs to co-invest and collaborate together. And just jumping from Shanghai to Switzerland, I want to give the word to Luca Zerbini, who is co-founder at Peak Point Partners.
Hey, thank you, and good to meet you all, and happy to be here. Peak Point Partners, just in brief, is a VC fund, about 120 million that we started last year. Both myself and the other co-founder have been in large corporates for a very long time. I was also the CEO of 2 private equity-backed companies. And the reality is that what we really think we can bring to companies is helping them accelerating and scaling up in terms of growth. So we typically invest in Series A or B, and when there is a proven technology that is already revenue generating. We of course love to back strong teams and with the ability to take their technology bigger in terms of financials, but also as a really good value proposition for customers. We have usually a holding period of about 3 to 5 years, and we have already started making a number of investment. We did about 5 in 5 months, and we have a very solid pipeline. One of them actually is in blockchain, and they just launched their NFT solution as well this week, and it's called Keepey, based here in Switzerland. They're doing that on loyalty for blockchain. So look forward to the discussion, and let me know if I can help.
Awesome, Luca. Thank you very much. You are the only investor today that is specializing not only on crypto, DeFi, NFT, and blockchain field, but also in other sectors which are not related anyhow to crypto. I hope that you will feel comfortable and you will find some good investment opportunities here.
Thank you. We'll try.
Great. Then let's jump straight to the startup pitches. And just a reminder, 5 minutes maximum to the pitch. And guys, if you are pitching longer, I will have to make a hard stop. Better remain all the extra information for the Q&A session. And we do not limit in Q&A. So investors can ask as many questions as they have if they wish to ask it now and not privately. And the first, I want to give the word to Stephen Wu, who is the founder of dNFT, which is in between of Australia and China. Stephen, please unmute yourself and start presentation. No, unmute yourself, please. You're muted.
It's okay?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you. My name is Steven, and I'm from Australia. I want to introduce the dNFT project. The dNFT project is a new generation cross-chain protocol. And this network is based on substrate the language with in Polkadot. And I want to integrate the NFT creation, NFT swap, and NFT auction, NFT tax, and NFT DAO as well. And basically is including the generation, storage, exchange, and sharing function. And our project already have get many grants, like Polkadot grants, and Web3 fund, Web3 grants. Yeah, so basically our product is ready for Usenet for next week, and we will release announcement for the Usenet for open for project. Yeah. So our position is very good for develop a long-term project. We currently have more than 10 staff to research and develop the core project. Currently, we're talking about many investor and founder for all over the world. And the main fund, we have reached the agreement and for discussion to further cooperation. So currently we're looking for fundraising between 1 million to 2 million US dollar to build the long-term project. And we also have talked with some centralized exchange and reached some agreement with the centralized exchange. So we want looking for a good partner, not only bring our fund, and also bring some outside resource and the community as well. So basically, this is basically our project introduction. So if you have any question, can ask me. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. Maybe that's because it is deep night in Australia. You forgot to present the screen with your pitch deck, but that's okay. I let investors ask the questions. So who wants to ask the questions? Yeah, I see Etienne.
Stephen, nice to meet you, sir. Thank you so much for that story. Wanted to ask you, what stage of development are you guys?
What stage?
Yeah.
You mean the fundraising, what stage?
Technology-wise.
Technology. Yeah, as I said, the Usenet is ready, and it's really open for next week. Yeah, and it will have some basic function, such as NFT creation. You can build an NFT to using our technology to deploy cross-chain. Our cross-chain including the BSC chain, Ethereum chain, yeah, and the Keepey chain, OK chain. Yeah, and Polkadot. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Etienne. Thank you, Steven. I guess that there are no more questions from investors to the dNFT, and I guess that they will leave the questions on the private sessions. Thank you, Steven. So you can go to sleep right now and not necessary to stay until the end for you. Okay, thank you for joining Deep at Night.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for inviting.
And I want to give the word to the startup from Chile and Argentina, Sharp Shark, and the founder, Sasha Ivanova. Sasha, please.
Hello, everybody. It's an honor for us to be here and to present what we have achieved. So I'm going to share the screen right now.
Yeah, now it's visible.
Yeah, okay. So, okay, I'm Sasha Ivanova, CEO and founder of Sharp Shark. We transform intellectual property to NFT, certify its originality, and monitor NFT assets fair usage. Problem: issuing NFT doesn't guarantee the originality of the content. In almost any NFT platform, a user can upload random content found on the internet and issue NFT tokens. Imagine what will happen if somebody mints NFT in 30 different blockchains. How we know which one is the true one? Sharp Shark knows how to deal with it. Please have a look at our expertise and what we have already done. We know how to store the content in mutable form in IPFS and timestamp it in blockchain. No way that your NFT will disappear. We make the originality check of the content. We don't allow any content which was before in the internet. Also, we mark images with the invisible unique pattern using neural net that can be seen via computer vision. Thanks to this, we can find reversed NFT quickly. Then Shark issues a certificate that serves as a perfect electronic evidence of authorship. Certified NFT can be sold in intellectual property aftermarket. All issued NFT become decentralized and are stored in user's wallet. A user can add a buy button and sell NFT anywhere in the internet. We constantly monitor the internet space looking for plagiarized content of other authors. When we find our client's content used without permission, we help them to send a claim using DMCA policy to remove the pirated NFT and make the violator pay for it. If for some reason some unoriginal content was uploaded, we generate an additional transaction recognizing content as files. Traction. We launched our alpha in December 2020. In January, we made 4K USD of revenue, in February 8K, and in March 12K. All of this just from paid pilots. Market opportunity is big. Intellectual property total addressable market is $100 billion. NFT market is 500 million now and has a tendency to double every month. We also will double and triple our market outreach by adding new types of content like design pieces, video, music, academic works, and many more. Our clients for now are publishing houses, product makers, and IP holders. Revenue model is very simple. Protection of one NFT costs $5 which includes certifying, monitoring, dispute resolution in case of problem. We run on the fourth generation simple blockchain that allow us to reduce transaction fees very significantly. By tokenization, we want to achieve three things. First, our creators will benefit from DeFi mechanics. Second, we want to create a crowdsourced fake search platform rewarded in tokens for users. And the DAO stakeholders will participate in taking decisions in dispute resolution process. There will be two types of tokens inside the ecosystem. Utility SHA token, that is an internal currency used to manage the whole NFT process. And the second one is DAO DeFi Rect SHA token for governance. Token allocation. The total supply will be 10 million utility SHA tokens. There will be one private and one public round. In the private round, we will sell 30% tokens for 1 USDT price with a total lock for 18 months with 3 defrosting stage of 6 months each. The team DAO stake will be 10% of allocation with the total lock of 12 months with defrosting periods of 4 months. The fund of 5 will be distributed between advisors, partners with the frozen period of 24 months. Clients will be rewarded with 5% of utility tokens equal to 5% of allocation, and then they can use them when the public sale starts. So in this way, the reserved fund is 50%, and we can proceed to the public sale. In the public round, they will be sold just 3% of tokens at $7.5 price. And in this stage, the instant liquidity for the market will be 2%. The hedge fund of 35 will be used for price maintenance, and the frozen untouchable fund for bug bounce and things like this will be 10. The raised funds will be used for development 20%, marketing 20%, team 10, and reserve fund of 50. According to our mission to become a universal NFT certifier, we are looking for 3 million of investment, and first results investor will see after the execution of a 100 days plan. So I invite you to explore the amazing power of NFT certification, because in 3 years, 30% of global content will be kept in blockchain, and we created a part of infrastructure for this. Thank you very much.
Sasha, thanks a lot. You are perfectly in time, and glad to hear about your traction up to date. Who wants to ask questions from investor side? I see Etienne unmuted, please.
Sasha, thank you so much. The last page of your deck, just before this one, can you go back to that? Okay, you said it states first results 100 days. What do you mean exactly?
Because we have a MOU with the Argentinian Football Association, so we are going to see at least 1,000 football cards for them. Okay. So first results, our investor will see in just 100 days. If you ask about the product, we almost all set. We're like 80% finished. We have certification marks aftermarket. We just need a buy button, and we are all set. So yeah.
The Argentinian Football League, how do they fit into this?
Sorry?
How do they fit into this? You get a license, or they get a profit share? Can you walk us through that?
No, they will pay us.
They pay you guys to issue the cards?
Yeah, they will pay us to issue the football cards for them, because they are very interested in tokenization, and we are going to process the intellectual property.
Okay, so they get nothing out of this, essentially.
They're clients.
They're clients. Okay, thank you so much.
They will be the early users of the platform. And it's the association where Messi plays. Yes, Sasha?
Used to play.
No, he still plays for the Argentinian team.
Okay, okay. Good. Other questions from investors? Alex, Jonathan, Luca, Yushan? Any questions from your side, guys?
I mean, one question from my side. You have the Argentinian guys on board now. What would be like the next steps in terms of customer acquisition from your side? What are the plans there?
We have actually a lot of clients in the line. So I'm very interested in some press. I heard that Yushan, you have a press in China, right? So we would like to maybe make some pilots for you. We want to transform for press the intellectual property text and images, because it's very, very high quantity of transactions daily. So we want to take enterprise contracts to make a lot of transactions in the network from just the start. So this will be our go-to-market strategy in the very short time.
And Sasha, which other verticals are you looking at apart from football? What is the the segments that are interesting for you and regions. I mean, South America or other areas for customers.
Yeah. It's a very good question because we are not limited with the location, but we need to connect language by language. So for now, for example, we can process images, English language, Spanish language, and Russian.
Okay.
For example, Chinese, we need to connect separately because it's some different engines of search. So when we want to expand, we will go language by language and not by location.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions from investors, or you prefer to leave it for private conversations? Yeah? Yep. Okay. Sasha, thank you very much. And good luck with the Sharp Shark further development. We will follow up with the interest with investors after the session. And I want to give the word right now, coming from the Latin America to another Spanish-speaking country, Spain. I want to give the word to the founder of Banger Games, Nicolas Gonzalez.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hello. Let me just try and share my screen quickly.
Yes, please.
Okay. Can you see?
Yes.
Perfect. So my partner and I founded Banger Games about 1.5 years officially to date, but we had been working on the idea for around 2 years now. My partner and I have been heavily involved in crypto investing, blockchain since about early 2016, and avid gamers our whole lives. So myself personally a consumer since the GameCube days throughout all the FPSs. And I think it was really between that collaboration of blockchain, the potential of this arising technology, and the combination with gaming that we really saw a huge potential. The gamers problem that we're focusing on, and I think that a lot of gamers in the community that we've experienced have suffered for a long time, is that there's nearly 3 billion gamers to date that are not getting compensated for the time they invest playing video games, right? As a gamer, you're constantly finding yourself investing or spending, as I may say it right now, currently spending, whether it's time or whether it's money in your gaming experience, right? So we really like to compare this industry to the football industry. So if we look 10, 15 years ago, there's top 3 players in the world, Pele, Maradona, Figo, earning between 500K, 3.5 million annually, which is obviously for the ordinary person a lot of money. But we saw when football digitalized their business and added that entertainment, media coverage, etc., is when it really blew up. Now we feel that, the gaming and esports industry has way more potential than that because it's all digitalized already, right? The scalability is a lot easier. It's a lot easier to grow that. But we really feel like there's 2 core issues to solve before this industry can really take off and maximize its full potential. First of all, is the lack of technological infrastructure in place to really distribute the monetization between the different user types within the industry, right? We think about gaming today, the biggest winners are the publishers, but all the other players within the industry are kind of struggling to monetize from it, right? And that second barrier that we want to break at Banger Games is the negative mentality and the lack of understanding of the industry. I think it's always dawned upon when you think about gaming or spending too much time behind your screen, whether it's your family or friends criticizing you for doing that, because they don't understand the potential of the industry and they haven't been educated on it. So those are the 2 core pillars we're focusing on at Banger Games. To date, what we've created is a competitive gaming platform because we feel like the start point for this industry is obviously the gamers. The gamers will attract long-term the other players to the ecosystem. So currently we've done over 34 tournaments as a tournament operating system. We had a closed beta with about 6,200 users from our pool of 30,000 community. And now we really look to expand that and utilize the advantages of this arising technology, right? So we want to develop and become something so much more than just a competitive gaming platform. We want to create the gamers world. Banger Games is here to create a new economy within the gaming industry. We're here to connect the different and reward the different user types within the industry, whether it's the players, the icons, the brands, and the publishers. And how we're going to do this is by developing our revolutionary currency, and rewarding and creating monetization streams for those different user types within the ecosystem. So obviously this will all be possible by basing our platform in a blockchain-based platform and creating that NFT exchange. So Banger Games will give back ownership, control, and monetization to the gamers for the first time. So what we've done is broken down, okay, where does a gamer spend, whether it's monetarily or time invested? They spend in their tech, they spend time playing the games, they invest in games year after year, and they invest in the digital assets in the game. So we're finding within our ecosystem how we can give an ROI on each of those core points through blockchain technology, right? The program that we're starting off with is the From Zero to Icon program. So our monetization system for the gamers starting off on our platform is very similar to like a YouTube or Twitch, in the sense that they can earn for the more value they add to the platform, whether it's competing in tournaments, completing objectives within games, like reaching a certain amount of kills or assists, or it's participating within that marketplace, creating digital assets and selling them, right? So that's really the starting point for us. And, you know, our key customer may be somebody like James Games, who plays 20-40 hours a week and considers him a competitive gamer. So the currency that's really going to be in the center of this economy and really drive it and allow these different user types to monetize is the BOM coins. And long term, we really feel like the BOM coins can become a global gaming currency, not just within the wall of Banger Games. So we look at this from the standpoint of a diagram. Like I mentioned, this BOM coin sits in the middle of the economy, and it provides different monetization models, at least four for each of these different user types within the industry, right? So starting with the gamers, attracting the gamers is going to bring the more influential users, is going to bring then the sponsors who want to interact with those larger audiences. And then I think the key part here as well is how do you get the publishers involved, which we're creating systems to really incentivize them. For example, if gamers connect with their APIs, then we're able to track that and reward the publishers for every match or game that's played. And that's really opening up the opportunity for the publishers to get involved in this ecosystem. And then once enough stakeholders hold the BOM coin is when we're really able to say, okay, this can be taken out of the walls of Banger Games and used as that global gaming currency on other platforms, etc., because it now has the value of having all these different stakeholders within the economy. This is a little bit about our roadmap, so how we plan to do things step by step. The global mass adoption is really by 2024, and we're starting off, with that BOM coins and mining system as the first step to really attract the gamers and allowing them to earn whether they're bad or a great player from the second they step on our platform, and then progressing along those lines as we attract the different user types to the ecosystem. In terms of the distribution, there's going to be a total of 10 billion BOM coins. The initial stage will be 30%, because we want to keep the ecosystem healthy. We want to make sure it's managed. If we distribute too much too early, it can have issues early on. So that initial stage will be 30%, 3 billion BOM coins. And in terms of the distribution, the initial private pre-sale, which we're looking at now, will be about 450 million BOM coins, 15% of the initial 30%, and that price will be at $0.02. If I have time quickly to get into our current stats, we just closed a partnership with Microsoft. So Microsoft is giving us access to the Xbox team, the other blockchain companies within the space, and really helping us to get connected with the bigger players like the publishers, etc., and their ecosystem. Like I said, we had that 6,719 users with a total of 38 tournaments, 850 teams created, 705 matches played. So we've really had time to test, get feedback from our users, and make sure that we have that stable initial platform that we can now develop and expand into. That's a little bit about Banger Games in conclusion. Hopefully I didn't go over the 5 minutes.
Not yet, you still have 5 seconds.
Okay, perfect. I was worrying a bit because it's definitely a challenge. The biggest challenge for me was trying to explain the whole ecosystem within 5 minutes, but I'm happy I could do it.
I'm wondering how do you do it then, an elevator pitch, which is 30 seconds or 1 minute.
Impossible. I think I don't think that rule applies for every business and startup.
But I liked it, really. You made a great job. And now I really want to hear to the questions from investors' side. So who wants to ask questions? Guys, don't hesitate. Unmute yourself.
Hello, Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you go ahead.
Yeah. Well, it sounds interesting, but I was wondering what separates your platform, your idea from something like, for example, Engine or other protocols who are doing similar ideas.
I think it's starting as our entry point in, as we started, is creating this framework around the tournament hosting platform and really attracting our gamers in through that way. And I think the important part here is that we're trying to teach the gamers first and educate them about the utility of the token before we go and add the coin, before we go and add value to it. So we're really allowing them to earn and monetize their gameplay. And then of course, this whole system is based off that initial framework that we built, this tournament operating platform, to then attract those different user types. And of course, with the bomb coin, we've developed over 4 to 5 different ways that each different user types can then monetize and create new monetization forms from our ecosystem. And so I think that's really how we our market entrance and how we're going about attracting these different user types, and our monetization models is what really differentiates us, as well as how we attract users to our initial platform by making them feel this experience where they never leave the game. I think a lot of platforms bring you on and the gamer kind of loses that sensation when they're playing the game to when they're on a cold platform. And what we're really trying to do in Banger Games is give back to the players first and make them feel like they're always within the gaming experience.
All right, and then how are you planning to get some stability around the token that you're using? So for example, let's say the market trend kind of shifts and the value of the token goes down over a period of time. And a lot of these players or other parties have invested in the coin, or at least build up some tokens, and that the value is now going down.
Yeah, so the idea initially is, as I mentioned, to really kind of give this pre-sale of the coins to investors and smart investors, so we can bring in a lot of added value and really grow the potential of it. And in the meanwhile, get more and more users and valuable users within the ecosystem, teaching them about the utility. I think so many coins nowadays come out and they maybe fail long-term because they fail to teach utility around the coin itself. So the idea is to initially teach about that utility, give the option in the beginning to obviously get that funding early on pre-sale. And then eventually when we have enough coins mined, enough coins within the ecosystem, is when we'll launch it publicly through an open, bidding process, where then the users who are already staking all of this currency can then dictate the initial price of that and really give it value. And over time, it's really going to be that partnerships and integrations and ensuring that we're constantly bringing on new publishers, helping them grow, helping the ecosystem grow, because in the end of the day, this ecosystem is to help distribute the monetization. And if we're successfully able to do that, we're able to grow this industry at a much faster rate, because now those different user types are going to be interacting with each other, and they're really going to be able to monetize and expand and experiment more often, right?
All right, thank you.
Good. Thank you, Tom and Yushan. Any other questions from investors?
Yeah, it seems Nicholas has already answered my question. So, but I have one more question. So my question is, if you want to grow the number of your users, so where's the target? I mean, the traditional gamers or those guys from blockchain area? So if you want to do marketing.
Yeah, so I think gaming is really unique in the way that it's fairly easy to get involved in gaming communities if you know where to look, whether it's large Discord communities that are revolved around one game, or it's simply getting on Twitch. I want to point out that this was all organically achieved by us just going on Twitch, having a chat with the gamers that are already playing the game and telling them, look, you can come on our platform and start earning. I think things that are really going to boost this is the level of allowing influential people to come create new monetization streams and bring their audience, interact in a tournament experience, and white label that, bringing their audience to play with them and reward them in a new, unique way. Then you have things like blockchain games, getting them involved in the ecosystem where their audience is already understanding upon this whole new technology and really understands where it's going. So that's a great way to attract new users. The mining system is another great way where gamers love to, if they can be watching a YouTube video or sleeping and leaving their PC on to start mining and earning while they do that, they can do that. And then I think the academy that we've just launched as well, and that education system, teaching our audience about the advantages of this new technology, their rising trends, and how this benefits them as gamers is really another core purpose. So in terms of like marketing and attracting new users, we have a lot of various different channels within the business to really do that and achieve that.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
No worries.
No more questions.
Good. Thank you, Yushan, and thank you, Nicholas. It was really great.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, all the rest questions you can answer privately. I'm sure
Perfect.
that you will connect with quite a number of investors from
Thank
today.
you for the opportunity. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Nicholas. And I want to give the word right now to another startup from Russia, Nifty, and the co-founder, Alex Kuzin. Alex, please.
Not Kuzin, but Shadagubov, Alexander also.
Oh, sorry, Alexander. I know that two Alexanders are both co-founders, and I just, in my papers, mixed who will be pitching today. Sorry. Of course, you are the one.
Thank you. Just a second. Hello again. My name is Alexander, CEO of Nifty. Nifty is collateral-backed and price discovery cross-chain protocol to provide NFT with inner value and liquidity. Our team is exceptional crypto and savvy with more than 8 years experience. In crypto market, our teammates also participated in waves from ICO to product, have 6 years of Web3 development, launch projects like DEX, blockchain IO projects, have big experience in consulting, analytics, and strategy. It's not a secret for everyone that NFT skyrocketed this year with 5-time growth of NFT marketplaces visitors. We found a point of growth in this market. As you see, the number of transactions decreases in relation of number of smart contracts. Here's the point. NFT needs real economic value, not just funding 8-bit pictures. The main problems we see is the valuation of NFTs and lack of liquidity. Sure, anyone here have bought NFTs, and surely as half of our team, any one of you could have its little cemetery of chubbies, mooncats, gatpigs, and other funny creatures here. The solution of this is a collateral-backed and price discovery cross-chain protocol to provide NFT with inner value and liquidity. Our main competitive advantages is a transactional replenished collateral. With each transaction, collateral increases. We give effective mechanics of price discovery to build a combination of pools and inner price value. Designed to be cross-chain, now we have implementations on Ethereum network and Binance Smart Chain. We're gonna give non-tech authors the ability to adjust flexible royalties with no coding. Our main audience is traders. We intend to make a soft that encourages them trading with an increased transaction rate. Also, we give authors the instrument to make their works really valuable for traders. There are 3 main circles of monetization: protocol circle, inner structure products, and outer layer of partners. Now we are participating in Binance Hackathon for CIS countries, and also we are partnering with Force. It's top 1 cyber sport holding in Russia and CIS countries with audience over 15 million people. And we are to launch Bulls and Bears. It will be the first project on Nifty to show the community all its possibilities and new things we're going to bring to the market. There are a lot of use cases of our protocol, and the main we see now is NFT itself. The DeFi market and cyber sport markets are ready to launch in a few months. Tokenomics. Nifty is ERC20 utility token. which will be the main part of our protocol. We have balanced token structure, which is typical for DAO, to provide token circulation. A significant share of tokens, about 25%, could be offered to investors. Team invested its own funds from the third quarter of 2020. It's about 60K USD. To complete the product, we are planning several investment rounds. Depending on profile of investors, the number of rounds can be reduced. This waiting period for investors and team. As you see, we plan to release tokens smoothly for investors and team according to the timeline to prevent possible dumps. Built-in token mechanic of burn will give additional value for a token in long term with the token release and usage of the protocol. According to roadmap, we realize project in two fields, protocol and inner infrastructure products. MVP delivered to the moment features highlighted with green. We have an understanding of needed human resources to execute this roadmap. At the moment, there is a little less than 10 people in the project. In a year and a half, we plan there will be 4 times more people, and 60% will be of products team and development. We understand that the main value of any project, especially protocol, is the community and partners that implement it. In this regard, we are ready to discuss partnerships in various fields. My contacts are here, so feel free to contact.
Thank you, Alex. Perfectly in time. And any questions from investors to Nifty? Yeah, Alex, Charlie. You kept silence so far. Yushan, yes, please. And Charlie, unmuted.
Hello, Alex.
Hello.
Yeah, I have a question. As our fund has invested quite a few marketplaces for NFT, and one of them is pretty similar to what have you presented. So I have 2 questions. So the first question is, you want to put the NFT as collateral, right, for lending? Is that correct? Is your plan?
Not exactly. We're gonna put a collateral inside NFT. It could be any cryptocurrency, ERC token, or any token on another blockchain. So we're gonna bring value not by NFT, but we're gonna bring value to NFT by other cryptocurrencies, which could be like collateral for this NFT. And also, when our NFT is traded, every transaction fills in this collateral, and it grows with the amount of trades made.
I see. So the second question is, I have seen your roadmap, and it takes like almost 1 year for the product to be online, right? So when do you expect to have a demo or testnet?
We're gonna
at fastest.
The MVP is now ready. We plan that it will take about 1 or 2 months to launch the product ready to use. I mean, it will be seen in Bulls and Bears project, as I saw on the slide. We want to show the community what is our protocol and how to use it. So we'll decided to make ourselves the first project to implement this case, and afterwards we're gonna continue negotiations with partners.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, I remember Charlie wanted to ask a question.
I'm just curious on your integration with BSC and the other TF. It seems like you have a multi-ecosystem approach, right? So what's our technical roadmap to implement that? Can you elaborate a bit more?
A technical roadmap. So I could provide you to connect with our technical lead. So the first step to connect to NBSC is our participation on this hackathon. The things which will be implemented there will be wrapping NFT token, unwrapping NFT token, placing collateral inside, transactional replenishing of the collateral inside the NFT. So these features will also be like mirroring the MVP on Ethereum.
Good. Did it answer your question?
We need to talk with your CTO maybe. Yeah, I'm curious about that implementation.
Good idea. Yep. Any other questions? Okay. Yeah, I think there are no more questions for the public conversation. Thank you very much, Alex, for your presentation, and you can continue answering the questions privately. Thanks. And I want to give the word right now to the startup from UK, SoundVault. And we have here Graham Gaby and Duško Lukic. So I think Duško will be pitching today, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, awesome. Duško, microphone is yours.
I'm just about to share the screen. Please let me know when you can see.
Yes, we can see it.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for taking the time. I'm here to pitch the DAO launch of Talent Scout, which is a digitized music label and publishing company. Sorry, everybody, I've just got to just put it onto the slideshow so I can move it. Right, apologies for that. So I'll continue. We have a leadership team with 150 years of combined experience in the music industry from companies such as Sony, EMI, and Universal. We have a very interesting leadership advisory team as well. I would just note Will Page, who is the chief economist at Spotify. What is the business offering? Talent Scout is a music label and publisher. And we're developing a DAO structure with a strategy of acquiring established catalog to enhance the value chain. And that's going to represent 25% of our library. We're also going to acquire and promote new hit music, which is going to represent 75% of our library, seeking a target capital appreciation of 30 to 40% per annum. What is the opportunity in wider music ownership? It is to democratize that process. Currently, the industry has been dominated by major industry players, and now we're starting to see the emergence of funds in both the private and public markets to exploit established music catalog. We see the natural progression of that to move into blockchain and tokenization to accelerate that democratization process. What is our deal sourcing process to buy new hits and established music? We're using the SoundVault platform as a screening tool for the best performing new releases. We are also seeking to exploit our established trading relationships with 1,900 music labels. That provides access to deal flow in the more established music space. And we're already in the early stages of due diligence and negotiation on up to $10 million of assets from that space. We hope we could acquire those assets by the third quarter of 2021 in the established space. How do we enhance value for new releases? I'm going to walk you through the anatomy of this process. We buy a stake in a new release by way of an advance payment for a marketing campaign. We'll then get the first call on those revenues to repay the advance payment within a 3 to 12 month period. And once that is achieved and fully repaid, that capital is then free to reinvest, providing then operational leverage. In the meanwhile, it leaves us with a residual ownership of 50%, free ownership of 50% of those recording and publishing rights. And they in turn confer the right to allow us to use our technology to track and collect royalties. This is seen to enhance revenues in that space by 30%. And the key service provider that enables that technology is a SoundVault tech stack. SoundVault's the music technology company, which has actually provided the base for our Talent Scout technology and addresses two key industry issues at the moment. How to promote and differentiate your music when 60,000 new tracks are uploaded daily onto Spotify, and also how do you accurately identify and collect revenues from all sources. Our platform is the SoundVault platform, which was launched in December 2020, and it is using YouTube to break new hit music via influencers and has developed its own form of internal token, VidSense, to pay those influencers to promote that music. The platform already has significant traction since launch. So in the first quarter 2021, we've already reached 2,500 influencers who have generated 1,600 videos off 160 new hits. We've actually reached now in excess of 40 million views, and the MRR is 25K. Our company's history is also rooted in the development of infrastructure of music royalty collection, and we have received equity investment from Bitfury for the development of a blockchain-based system that allows real-time monitoring and collection of music royalties. The DAO framework we're proposing is frankly still in development, but the core essence is here, that the DAO funds raised will purchase assets and set up the structure, and then that will allow our system to promote those assets and build value with YouTubers and social media platform, which then triggers the next phase of our tech and allows us to monitor and collect revenue and recycle funds, which allows us to consider then either recycling and buying new assets or issuing NFTs. We're looking to raise $10 million, and that can be phased. So we anticipate it might be in 2 or maybe 3 phases. And we'll seek to use the new capital to build the first catalog, generate income, and essentially develop the track record of value creation. We'll then sell assets to recycle capital and buy new catalog. And some of the residual profit will be held in treasury. And to be very honest, we're still working through the NFT creation and the tokenomics of the DAO, and happy to talk offline with investors. We've already started some of those conversations and speaking to our legal team. But in essence, of the gross 10 million proceeds, we would use 6.5 million for catalog acquisition, 3.5 million for working capital, catalog promotion, and treasury. And a quick reminder of the investment highlights: we're seeking to create a tradable music asset library via a DAO and possibly an NFT structure, generate cash flow from royalties, capital appreciation of music assets by increasing the exposure to the marketplace, recycling that capital, and then crucially managing the yield of those assets in terms of the pricing on acquisition and pricing of sale of those assets, and create an asset-backed crypto structure to drive compounding returns for investors. Thank you for your time.
Duško, thank you. Perfectly in time. And I want to hear some questions from investors. So, Luca, Jonathan, Tom. Don't hesitate to unmute and ask. Yep, please.
Well, I was going to, first of all, I think a very solid team and obviously a very good understanding of the industry, which is great to see. What I would like to understand a little bit better is really your entry strategy in the market and how you think you're going to scale up over time. It wasn't very clear.
Okay, thank you for the question, Luca. I mean, basically, we already have a functioning platform, which is a SoundVault platform, and we can share that offline. Which allows us access to new releases where artists and labels are actually placing new music on our platform.
Yep.
And they are incentivizing people in the form of VidSense, which is a promotional tool that actually pays YouTubers. And this is the unique aspect. It actually pays YouTubers to place videos. So as a result of that, we have very good access and early insight into the popularity and the promise of new releases.
Mm-hmm.
And so and as I mentioned in the presentation, I know we skipped through it pretty quickly. 75% of our portfolio will be focused on new releases, which is a key operational differentiator. Yep. And we have a very early eye on that and plenty of access to that portfolio because there are so many people who are wanting to bring their music through our platform. So that's the first point. The scalability of that is potentially unlimited, and we are also speaking to most of the labels, or a significant number of labels. We referred to 1,900, so we're not speaking to all of them in one go, but we have significant scalability through our platform to bring established catalog on there as well. The established catalog takes longer to buy and to negotiate, and actually the way it works is if you're speaking to a big label, it's going to take even longer. If you're speaking to a smaller label who can move much quicker. We can then get access to that established catalog quicker on that score. But with individual artists and managers, they can move very quickly. And the scalability and the amount of deal flow that we can get there is, I wouldn't say unlimited, but it's very significant.
Got it.
Sorry about that. Somebody's.
Yeah, it's not there.
I don't know if that answers your question, Luca. Is in terms of the established portfolio, it's going to take a little bit longer, but in terms of the 75%, obviously we get there pretty quickly.
Got it. And do you focus more like on European labels, or like LA, or
no? I mean, the answer is that at the moment we've got access to a lot of the majors, who obviously have then exposure across different territories in their different teams. So there's a sort of cross matrix approach to the bigger labels, but actually it's a global outreach. There are areas in the Anglo-Saxon world where we have more exposure by definition.
Of course, yeah. Thank you. Very, very useful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luca. Etienne, Alex, would you like to ask questions?
I think everything has been said by now. I think we could take it to a private and have a more deep dive into the project.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you very much, Duško. It was a great presentation, and you can continue answering the questions on private mode.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Much appreciated.
Thanks a lot. And I want to give the word right now to the startup from Czech Republic, New Life, and the founder, Sofiane Delou. Sofiane?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
You all, and thank you for the amazing presentations and projects so far. So I'm going to start because it's a public thing. So just with a quick disclaimer that none of this is obviously investment advice. So,
yes, and I remind, before you start, I remind to everyone, so this is public, and even if we did not stream it live in YouTube, you never should disclose confidential information in such kind of conversations. So just a friendly reminder to all the startups. Please go on, Sofiane.
All right, let's go. So at New Life, we are virtualizing creativity into a flow of data and social NFTs. So what does it mean? Every decade, if I show you a picture of the 60s, you would recognize it right away, even though you haven't been told what is, the 60s or the 70s or the 80s. There is always this cultural momentum or cultural zeitgeist where some things has a creative value, and then it tends to fade away as it's reaching mainstream. And so it's extremely important for any brand or creator to have that component, to understand what is fashionable or what is cool at a specific time. And so that's what makes a lot of difference, especially today. So the curve for any creative momentum, it always starts with something that looks weird, and then it becomes mainstream, and all the phase in between is what is interesting for us at New Life. And so the way we look at it is the whole space, basically, the whole creative space has gone through a big transformation where things used to be very simple, a few designers, a few, so in the case of fashion, fashion editors, magazines would kind of dictate the trends and consumers would just follow. And what happened in the last 10 years is we went through this big transformation where all those trends and all this consensus around creative value is now timely, it's moving fast, and it's also happening in a horizontal and distributed way, which means that it's a big challenge for all those old institutions because they don't know how to reconnect with those audiences and how to basically continue to thrive. If we look at the fashion industry itself, it's 500 billion per year that is being wasted because brands don't know what consumers want. So the other challenge is that social media is very bad at serving or addressing, let's say, those creative communities because they usually push content that is relevant for the masses, but anything that's too edgy or too creative gets penalized by the algorithms. So when we look now at the NFT space, what we see is that it translates also in the same way where traditional NFTs, they tend to concentrate all the wealth and all the value within very few creators, while all the rest is kind of posting NFTs, but nobody buys them. And so with New Life, we believe that the concept of social NFT is a better reflection of how creativity works, which is an exchange between a lot of people. And so we believe that it should be reflected into the NFT model. So the way it works is when you mint an NFT, you can decide who should get a share of it. And so you can split the ownership. You can also credit the whole community and reward them for their creative output. So the way the mobile app works on New Life, we are analyzing content with AI and we ask feedback to communities of experts. So it's a curation engine. It's an app that is available on both the App Store and Android. And we timestamp on the blockchain, and we have a royalties model similar to the music industry, but applied to any form of creativity. And so the business model is to provide this stream of data to people who and companies that need it. And so the goal is to split the world in two categories: the brands that don't have access to the data and the brands that do. And the brands who do have access to this secret code, let's say, of all the overview of all those creators and what they find appealing or relevant at a specific time will gain a tremendous competitive advantage. And it's a bit the same for creators. If you know what is trendy now, you can create content, you can create products that will be following the trend, and so you will be always on point. So in terms of technology, the way it works, we have a mobile app that produces a lot of data. We have then a graph that sorts the data, and then we are creating a cross-chain protocol that allows for the distribution of this IP. The market, we estimate it's about 50 billion, considering that the creative industry, across the creative industry, will need this kind of data. I myself worked for the last 10 years as a publisher in fashion, so I'm connected to all the brands. Madeleine, our co-founder, is our COO. Jacob is in charge of the graph, and Yev is on the smart contract side. And in terms of traction, we have about 30,000 users, 15 monthly, and 30 million inputs into our data set. And our plan is to first raise from the crypto space, then go to grow our portfolio of users and scale the users, and then go to commercialize the data. We already have a relationship with major luxury groups. And COVID has made it very advantageous for us because it's accelerating the way brands are looking at digital solutions.
Thank you, Sofiane. Thanks a lot for your presentation. And given that you speak about brands and luxury brands, I guess that maybe Luca wants to ask some questions. And of course, other investors as well. So please unmute yourself and feel free to ask.
You definitely know me very well, yes. We have a very solid connection with a number of them as well. No, I think, a little bit as... the question I had before is, so what do you see your growth path? How would you describe that? And where do you see the revenue model as well?
Right, so we want to do it. It's very tempting for us. We've been part of the Farfetch Accelerator, so it's the biggest luxury retailer in the world, and they introduced us to 450 brands. It was amazing, but we decided to not go for it yet because we want to reach a critical mass of data and content and users. And so the idea for us is to first prioritize the crypto space, because we believe that if we can tokenize this model and create a smart economy around it, there is definitely a big avenue for us, because nobody is really taken seriously in the luxury space currently in the blockchain. So we can be that bridge between the blockchain space and all the fashion and luxury from the IP perspective. And then once this is done, and it could take maybe 6 months, we hope that it's going to be fast. The next phase for us is to focus on growing the users and the data set. We believe that we can reach 500,000 users potentially by September. And then once we have this critical mass, then we will hire a team for the B2B and be extremely focused on the B2B, meaning training all those strategic planners and all the people who work with luxury brands to learn how to use our technology and give them insights. But we already have brands who are interested. I cannot give names because it's a lot of NDAs and stuff, and the fashion industry is very secretive. But yeah, the major groups are all interested in what we do. We just don't want to be a nice to have. We want to come when it's really time to do big business with them.
And in terms of financing, how are you going to use the initial investment, I guess?
Yeah, so the main areas I would say is research and development. So now we have a technology that's, let's say, MVP. It has its limit, so we need to now professionalize the team and hire more experienced and more developers to do things bigger. For now it was mostly an experiment. The next phase for us will be to invest in growth, and so what's also unfortunate but fortunate at the same time is that the fashion industry now is kind of stuck because of the situation.
Yeah.
So we believe that all those talents could be for us accessible at the kind of budgets that would be more interesting. So it's a bit like when Google raised just before the crack of the internet bubble. We could hire a lot of great people, and we would use the revenue for that to do a lot of grassroots campaign within the fashion communities. Publishers, PR firms, and so on.
Yep.
And then, yeah, the phase 3 will be to be very focused on the sales and the training and basically helping this industry innovate, because the fashion industry is very old school when it comes to internet. They use internet for distribution and promotion, but all the value chain that's before, it's still like old school. People take the plane to go to Milan and Paris and New York to like sit at fashion shows. And so we are here to tokenize that part of the business, all the intellectual property. And so we work also with experts in copyright laws and so on to create a framework, a global framework for intellectual property for that kind of content.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was muted. Thank you, Luca. Thank you, Sofiane. And I think that we can move to the next startup, and Sofiane can continue in the private mode. Thanks a lot for your pitch. And I want to give the word to the startup from Estonia, Keepey, and the founder, Moti Berman. Moti?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here right now. And let me share my screen just a minute.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so Keepey is going to be the first crypto bank in the world. And our solution is to be the first market that have the ability and the opportunity to have all the things that the crypto market needs in one-stop shop. So first of all, we was created in 2019. All the money we raised, me and the other founder, we invested in the company to $200,500. We launched our system in April 2020. We have right now about 12 products inside our platform. We sell, right now we are doing B2B business. We sell about 100,050 in Europe and Asia clients. And right now we have 10 major coins in our ecosystem. What is the need? The need is right now in the market is to have a platform that is trustable, accountable, and empower people to operate in combined economy for digital and traditional assets. Right now, our major work is a white label solution for payment solution. We are doing payment solution for forest gambling and e-commerce. And this is what we're doing right now. Of course, our goal is to be a bridge to a crypto banking solution, fiat crypto and crypto fiat, and closing the gap between the fiat banking solution to the crypto banking solution. And this is what we want to do. we develop about 12 products. First of all, we are a digital wallet. We have our own exchange. We have our own payment gateway. We have a loan system, a debit card system, trading system, P2P exchange, investment system, developing token, liquidity provider for crypto, and custody solution, all inside one system. Right now, our revenue, we have 7 clients, and we want in 2021 to have 24 clients and to achieve $1 million in revenue. In 2022, we want to achieve 150 clients and go to $8 million. In 2022, we want to launch our EMI license, and this is why we want to raise money, because we want to open in UK an EMI license, a bank solution that will give us the opportunity to expand our compatibility to our clients and make more money. And what happened is in 2022, that from $8 million that we are going to do only on our Keepey crypto banking solution, when we are going to be a digital bank, then our revenue will double itself and we go to $13 million a year. And you can see exponentiality in 2023, 2024, we're going to achieve $86 million. And this is our goal, of course, to go achieve that. Our competitors right now in the landscape, it's BitGo, it's a custodian, a very big wallet solution, blockchain.com, B2B broker, Ledger, and us. The difference between everybody that we have everything in one system. Some of them have wallets, some of them have trading systems, some of them have an exchange, but nobody have full banking solution in one stop shop. So we are the first right now to do everything, our own technology in one solution. Of course, I developed the system. We have about 12 developers across the board, and Gilad is someone that working with me also, and he have experience in the developing startups. And we have built right now more people to enter our system to launch our banking solution. We have our own token, and we right now, every client that is approaching our system and open account with Keepey, if it's a private sector, we will get 100 KPY. So we have about 3,000 users right now privately, but we are not launching it yet. It's only by hearsay, and we are working only B2B. So right now, what we are trying to raise is about 2.5 million euros to raise for the EMI license and to operate the bank. And we want to do it in a private sale, about 35% of our token, sell it and get the revenue that we need to open the bank. Our roadmap right now, we are building our own app this quarter. We are moving to IBM servers to be a real bank that will have the security and the capability of a bank. And we are moving to a bigger server that we have right now. We are developing and launching in instantly one day, like weeks. We are developing a system that you can launch your system. If it's an e-commerce, payment solution, wallet solution, in a day, we are launching your white label solution. You only need to choose what you want, and in a day, we launch your system. At the second quarter, we want to start the EMI license. We want to add more cyber security team to our system. We want to work maybe with Binance and to list our coin there. In this third quarter, we want to launch the bank and start marketing it. And this is our plan. So for the builder of the white label that we can launch in a day, this is going to be the cost. To establish the EMI license, we need about $1 million, and to accelerate the European sales, we need $500,000. So thank you very much for listening to me. If you have any question, of course, I will be gladly hearing from you.
Thank you, Moti, very much. And yeah, indeed, crypto banking is something really demanded. The question is, what do investors think and what questions do they have? So please, guys, unmute yourself and ask questions.
Hello, Moti.
Hi.
I have one question. So regarding the banking business, so my only question is about the regulation. So how do you solve the risk of regulation? Because the payment, the banking thing is critical.
Okay, so first of
at
all,
least in China it is.
Yeah, of course. This is why we approach UK, because UK regulator is after we research all the countries, we decided that UK is the best approach to do the EMI license there. We are solving this because we're going to operate separately. So the EMI license is going to be only for opening an IBAN and credit card, and we're going to have another company that is going to be the bridge connecting to crypto technology, that is Keepey, to the bridge to the bank. And then with this solution, we found a solution that we can build a bank that can give every client that wants to have an IBAN and credit card and to move from fiat to crypto easily in one solution, and of course, it's legal.
I see. Thank you. Yeah, answered my question.
Thank you, Yushan. I see Tom is willing to ask a question. Please.
Yeah, you made a point about being the only one who has the combination of all these services, but at the same time, the services that you do name sound very similar to a lot of other companies like crypto.com or Binance.
Yeah, correct. But they are doing only one thing. Binance is only an exchange. They are not a wallet system, and they are not trustable. You go to Binance only to trade. And another thing, if you want to take a loan, we have only 2 loan systems in the market, and we are the third. If you want to do if you want right now to invest, we have our own algo. If you want an algo system to invest professionally, there is not. You need to buy an algo, maybe use trading system, but we have our own investing system inside the system. And now if I want to trade, not in Binance, I want to trade 25 exchanges. We have our own bridge that you can have the best liquidity provided, the best prices instantly in one solution. So you have your own wallet, you can trade, you can take a loan, you can invest, you can do everything like a bank, but in one solution. And there is nothing in the world that have something like this. They have an exchange, they have a loan, but that's it. Not a full operational banking solution that have 12 products working in one solution. I never said that. I know the market a couple of years. We are the first one.
Yeah, well, to get to your first point, I have a credit card from Binance actually. So a lot of the things that you just mentioned.
How much you pay? Yeah, you have credit card by Binance, but you don't have an IBAN. And how much you pay a commission to do a withdrawal? And if your bank is getting money from Binance, a lot of questions you're telling me that Binance cannot do for you. It's only an exchange. Yeah, it's a good exchange. It's a big exchange, but they are not a bank. And it's from China. And I'm from Europe, and I want to withdraw money to my bank account. My bank account says Binance, you cannot withdraw. And a lot of banking around the world will not let you withdraw through exchanges like Kraken, like Binance, like Comex. They don't let you go take the money out. But if you're withdrawing from your own bank, because we're going to have our own EMI license on your name, and you're going to withdraw to your bank, the bank will give you the money. So the solution is for opening the real problem that the banking is stacking the money from exchanges because they don't like exchanges, because they don't know where the money is. But if I'm a bank and I know how to move the money between a wallet to a bank and to a bank to your bank account, this is the solution that everybody's looking for in the crypto world, of course.
Well, to be honest, I've withdrew multiple times from both Binance, Kraken, Coinbase, and all of them, and my bank has never made a problem about that. But besides that point, I also think DeFi's main point as well is to make sure that banks are not necessary, or at least not in the way that they function now. And how do you see yourself positioning that even though that maybe banks are not necessary anymore, and you're mostly focusing on trying to become a bank?
No, I'm trying to bridge the gap right now because I think maybe in 5-10 years we don't need any banks. But till now, people are moving money between fiat to crypto and crypto to fiat, and this solution is needed for people that wants to move from this environment. Maybe in 5-10 years, you're right. I don't think people will move outside the crypto world, but right now it's needed and people want to invest and move from fiat to crypto. And I think it's not simplifies because we are from the market of the crypto, but there are a billion of people doesn't go to the market because they don't trust and don't know what is Binance, and doesn't know how to trade. And we need to simplify things. And I think Keepey is making it very simple that you do one KYC and you have 12 products that you have. But if I want to Binance, I need one KYC. I need to go to a loan system, another KYC. A lot of things that you need, a lot of keys, a lot of security. It's a very comparable and very problem for a lot of people to enter the crypto world, and I want to give them the opportunity to have the opportunity and the insurance and the banking solution that they want and still want to enter the crypto world. And I can simplify that and do it through Keepey.
Yeah, that was, I don't really agree with most of what you're saying, but that's all right. And I give you all the room that you need. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Tom, for your questions. Moti, I see that you are very, very passionate on what you're doing. For future, it makes sense not to interrupt in the middle, but to give opportunity to finish the question at least. But thanks a lot, and I'm sure that with such passion, you will be able to move forward. You can continue private conversations with investors, and let's go to another startup. And I want to underline that unfortunately, Charlie from Carbon Blue had to leave because it is deep night in his place right now, but he promised to review the remaining decks privately and also to check the recorded version. So don't worry about him taking the opportunity to get your pitch deck. And I want to give the word right now to the startup from Canada, NFT Galleria. And we have two co-founders here, Zavosh Zabolyan and Sina Nazari. I guess Sina will be pitching, yes? Or Zavosh?
So I'll be pitching. This is Sina and I'll be pitching. Just give me 1 second to load this. Everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, should I start?
Sure.
Sure. Hi everyone, this is Sina. I'm pitching our company NFT Galleria. We're empowering artists and protecting their rights. You see, if as an artist, you really don't have time to spend on selling your product or marketing your product. You need to spend your time in producing excellent art. And at the same time, up to half the art that's sold annually is counterfeit. So there's no really strong mechanisms to authenticate artists or protect them and their rights. Our solution is that we're a digital gallery. We specialize in promoting and selling arts. Of course, as you know, what's hot in the marketplace, non-fungible tokens, we use those to protect artist rights, their artwork, and the art collectors. But we also do it in a way no one else does. We are making a decentralized autonomous organization that will promote good NFTs, starting with art, later on other NFTs, and acting as a marketing company as well as an authentication company. And that's how we're very different from others. Of course, when we start, we're going to be selling art on our gallery. We're going to be selling premium art at $100 plus each. We keep 20% of each transaction. Some of that goes back into the ecosystem. We take payments in USDC, Ethereum, and our own GAL token. Value proposition is simple, as you could expect with other platforms. We make the artist's work non-producible to protect the artist. We protect the art collector by verifying the identity of the artist and helping, verifying the originality of the art. And we protect the art itself by making it tamper-proof, permanent, and everlasting by storing it on the blockchain. Our technology design is, as expected, designed after the same value proposition. We issue an NFT. We publicly publish the demo file on the blockchain and also on our platform. And we keep the master file, the key art file, to be unlocked by the NFT token and by the NFT token holder. And we have a GAL token with the sort of economics that creates an incentive system for community to promote excellent artwork over not so excellent artwork. We really rely on a network effect for growing and keeping our business in a defense position. We continuously onboard quality artists. We partner up with other art galleries and influencer networks. And they're going to help us drive sales and marketing. And we're always open to cross-selling with different artists, different platforms, and different ecosystems. The time is right now. There's NFTs are on all-time high. We have marketplaces that are actually selling NFTs, but few of them are actually selling good art. Most of them are selling, speculative collectibles, and some of them don't even have their own, monetization mechanism. That just shows, the time is still right now, and we're in the right time. Market cap is big. The art market cap is $70 billion. Up to 20 to 50% of that is made of fake art, and that shows that we can capture $35 billions of dollars in just the art market cap. NFT marketplace is at least $15 billion. It's growing really fast, so that's not a problem either. We know we have competitors, OpenSea and other platforms. Most of them are focused on collectibles, not a unique business value proposition. And we have the secondary or traditional competitors who are the art agencies and other selling outlets. They're going to be moving into our space or going to be replaced by our space. We have a very niche value proposition. We're going to be capturing the old school traditional competitors in the new generation. We have an executive team made of experienced managers. Myself, I'm an MBA, I'm a computer scientist and a blockchain expert. Sarush is a master of business. He's very experienced with growth in fintech. Zavosh is our head of creative. He actually went to a private college for management of art. He managed some very famous artists and their careers, and he's a Grammy Award winner. Together, the three of us, we have over 20 years of management experience in business, entrepreneurship. We've earned millions of dollars in our businesses, and we also get along. We know each other for a few years, and we get along really well. In terms of traction, in just 3 days, we reached out to 60 artists. We got 11 of them signed up. That's an 18% conversion rate. We're looking to improve that with analytics as well, but that's very good already. We earned $1,500 just testing our business model. And we're in talks with MetaPurse. You know them because they bought the $69 million art from Beeple. Acoin, that's a company for Akon, who's a very famous artist in the music industry, and other NFT stakeholders to kickstart our growth even more. In terms of a roadmap, we started with an MVP. We've onboarded some artists. We're on board to onboard 20 artists. We're going to be having a public launch soon. And soon enough, we're going to grow, and we're going to be moving into the music industry and launch a DAO. We're asking for $500,000 for 10% equity, and our hope is to turn your $500,000 into $5 million in under 2 years. We can discuss tokenomics design and other materials finances after the pitch. Thank you, and I invite Zavosh to join me on the questions.
Thank you very much, Sina. Very good presentation. And yeah, questions from investors. Yushan, by the way, you said you are super bullish on NFT market. I promised you will have enough NFT startups, and you can see I was right.
Yeah, so it's amazing, actually. It's very exciting to see so many NFT projects. Yeah, that's my favorite area currently.
And what do you think of NFT Gallery?
Actually, we have just invested another project called cryptoart.ai. So you guys you can just log in their website. It's also a NFT gallery, and also it has some NFT plus DeFi applications. they have over 500 artists already uploaded their artworks. So yeah, I think I need to talk with NFT Gallery, this project in private, because I have so many questions, but considering the limited time, so I'm not sure I can ask all of them. Yeah. Let us talk in private.
Yeah, of course, we will gladly introduce you directly. And I know it's already night at your place. So, but keep being with us. We will finish shortly. And
yeah, sure.
Thank you, Yushan, for your feedback. And I guess Alex also wanted to ask the question from Cryptomeria.
Yeah, actually, thank you very much for this presentation. Actually, I have several questions, but let me start probably with one for now. Yeah, could you tell please what's your current valuation and what valuation did you have in your previous token rounds?
So we haven't had the token round. We're actually going through a private investment through the first round. For our total tokenomics, we're going to be having 10 million tokens. This round will issue 1 million of it, so 10% basically equity, and 10% that's going to turn into 10% of the tokens. That puts our valuation at $5 million USD.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Sina. Any other questions to NFT Gallery? Okay, maybe you will continue in private. So thanks a lot for your presentation. And last but not least for today, the startup from Singapore, Comex, and the founder, Chris Perry. So Chris, please go on.
Hi, Nelly. Thanks for the intro. Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. Broadcasting from Australia tonight, but I'm super excited to be here. So
it's also deep night in Australia. So please go on. I didn't know that.
Okay. Just sharing my screen now. Just let me know if you can see.
Not yet.
How's that?
Yes, we see your presentation. Would be great. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. You can start now.
Okay, so we're Comex. We are an asset tokenization company specializing in art and property real estate tokenization. We allow the investment and trading of asset tokens. Our specialty is dividing expensive assets into fractions and democratizing investment. So just a short disclaimer, we are looking to get the relevant securities licenses to back our discussion today. It's purely for illustrative purposes and a real use case as well. So who are we? We're a blockchain software team from some of the best DeFi projects in the world, arguably from some of the companies that invented DeFi. So we have the heavy engineering talent from Synthetics and team members from Ren Protocol as well, Republic. So we bring that spirit of innovation to Comex. So we're veterans in the industry. We have a Forbes under 30 in our team and a former C-level executive. So what we want to do is democratize investment and take over the asset tokenization and digital security space. So in particular, today I'll talk briefly on NFTs, but mostly on our real estate opportunity, as I believe it's one of the biggest ones in Singapore and probably the next level of DeFi going forward. So around the world, real estate's become very expensive and unaffordable for younger generations. So basically, younger buyers are unable to buy property in the market. So we can democratize investment by splitting assets into smaller fractions and let people buy tokens that represent a fraction of the real asset. Here's an example of a web platform. Basically, it allows sellers in the future to sell a fraction of your property as easily as trading a share. Let's say that you need some money and you've got a $600,000 property. If you have your property in our special purpose vehicle, which we control and have tokenized, you can liquidate very easily. So there's all these assets sitting dormant around the world that are now liquid. Previously, we have dabbled in the art space, and the platform runs much the same way. So what else can be tokenized? Commodities like gold and silver, but our primary focus is art and real estate. Here's a quick example of one of our NFTs. Buyers can buy an NFT and also get mailed a NFT artwork, a real world artwork as well, to hang in your lounge room or wherever you like. So there's a tangible ownership aspect and an investment aspect as well. What are digital assets? So basically we are focusing in digital security offerings. So they are a security, so we need to be regulated under the Singapore Securities Act. And we have Osborne Clark, who is our legal counsel, helping us structure the special purpose vehicle. So we tokenize properties, put them into a legal structure that's been vetted, and we have all these amazing technology partners from the Zilliqa ecosystem, which we're a part of in Singapore. We're in a top world-class blockchain accelerator backed by the Singapore government, and we have built a proof of concept currently, which is a development in, this is purely for illustrative purposes. So this is in Singapore. People can, accredited investors can purchase a fraction of this property, and basically you could own a piece of property for as little as 20 to 30,000 and trade it in the future as easily as a share. So the system would look something like this. Just a simple portal with an order book exchange that you could trade. And then you could also look at your wallet and admire how much your capital gains have gone up for all your token assets. And sellers can also track their sales. So we've won an innovation track before, a grant, tokenized real estate this year and art last year. There's been a digital economy boom, so more people are looking for online investments, and it's also a chance to reach global investors of tokenized real estate through our platform. We have an interesting pipeline from around the world, Thailand and Singapore to start with, and then potentially Europe and Australia. Obviously, the real estate market is huge around the world, but in Singapore alone, there's quite a significant rental yield market to capture. There are some competitors, but we know that we can beat them by raising now and getting a retail license to beat all these competitors who might be looking at something similar, but they're only focused on accredited investors. So basically, here's our amazing team from the best blockchain startups around the world. We've got domain knowledge in art and real estate, and obviously blockchain heavy lifting talent in the engineering space. We have strong accreditation and partners. We've been certified by the Singapore FinTech Association, building our tokenization real estate proof of concept on a government exchange that shares data, and they help vet us and guide us through building the project. And yeah, our 6-month goal is to just get these licenses and sell to retail. So we're looking for 1.5 million market capital reserve to operate with those licenses and then sell to retail. So that's what we want to do, sell these tokenized assets to the world. And thanks.
Great. Just a second before, I wanted to tell you about timing. Perfect. Thank you, Chris.
Yes.
Thank you. And questions from investors. Etienne, please.
Chris, clarify something for me, please. Somewhere in your presentation, you talked about your platform allows accredited investors to buy tokenized real estate. A minute later, you said the competitors only focus on accredited investors, and you ended your pitch with sell these to retail. So what exactly is it?
No, so basically the competitors, because of the tier capital requirements for selling to accredited versus retail, selling to the retail market is obviously more lucrative because then you can sell to a bigger market than just a small pool of accredited investors. So the capital working requirement is 500, working capital requirement reserves are 500,000 Singapore dollars to then sell to the retail market. However, if you just want to target the accredited investor market, you only need 50,000. And obviously it's a safer bet. Some of the, like we were in the accelerator, the blockchain accelerator for the last few months. So we've liaised with the banks, big banks that have been working on this, and they're just playing it safe to start with. But obviously we want to race ahead. We know all our competition. I think we can be the first to do it because we have the knowledge and the skill to execute this fast. Like obviously I said earlier, like our team member was in synthetics, and they basically started, they created the first DeFi contract that started this whole space. So like we have that sort of knowledge behind us, and we're seeing this new sort of like next phase of DeFi. And I think retail's the one everyone gets excited about.
Okay.
Did it answer your question, Etienne?
A bit. I'm still kind of confused. Like we want to play this. It's just that we could have we could be sitting here tomorrow morning with this debate. I like it actually, where we're trying to, because DeFi, of course, decentralized finance, but in my opinion, is also democratized finance, right? Where we're removing boundaries that traditional finance poses on what we call retail, right? We're opening doors, hierarchies are being smashed. And to me, I'm like, okay, what type of restrictions are you seeing in building this as you're trying to bring this opportunity to retail customers?
Okay, so people have been looking at the tokenized asset space for a long while. However, when you get to assets like high value paintings or real estate, that's when the regulators seem to step in, because people can get burned investing in high value assets. So that's why we're playing it safe and working with the regulators. We're in the accelerator, building our proof of concept on the government exchanges and accelerator programs. Basically, once we have the license, it's a moat, but it's also a blocker to new companies coming into the space. So I think part of that is because of the large capital requirements to have the license. So there's two that we're looking to raise for. The capital market securities license, which would allow us to trade securities like a broker license. And because currently we can only sell to a small pool of accredited investors privately. But if we want to trade these asset fractions on a secondary exchange, like let them trade it like a share on like an order book exchange or on another company sell on our behalf, we need these licenses, especially the accredited investor license, which is 50,000 capital reserves, and obviously the retail one, which is 500,000, and then $1 million for the capital market services one. But I mean, we've got such an amazing pipeline coming through. Eventually, once we tokenize these assets, you can let people take loans against it. So you might own an asset, you might own a quarter of a property, and you say, oh, okay, I want to just take a loan against this. I want to we could possibly weave in a tokenized, some tokenomics into that, or let people borrow the stable token that we're partnered with, like Singapore dollar. And there's so many areas that we can.
So maybe it's a good idea, as Etienne suggested, that you sit tomorrow morning or maybe tomorrow evening with a glass of something and make not only business discussion, but also.
So if I could conclude, Chris, what you just said is right now, your current licenses allow you to sell to a small portion of accredited investors, but ultimately your goal is to like open the floodgates to retail.
Yeah.
Correct?
That's it. To smash it open.
Okay.
Like, I mean, now we've got a $600,000 property that we can only sell to a small pool of people. Like, there's only so many accredited investors we know, or like our friends know. So we just want to smash it open and sell to the world. Imagine people could just log on with their Ethereum wallet and then buy like an asset fraction. That's that. So
how much money do you need for that license?
So we think around 500,000 for the capital markets services license.
In Singapore?
In Singapore, yeah. It's regulated by the central bank there.
Okay.
And 50,000 minimum for letting people sell to accredited investors on other exchanges. So they could trade our fractions on their exchange, and we could tell the world. Like, I've been pulled up before. Like, I've made some amazing posts like, oh, we're tokenizing an apartment and this is so amazing, but I had to pull it because currently I can't tell the world because that's a public solicitation. So we have to get these licenses before we really blow this open. And I mean, we've got, if you saw the asset, like real estate pipeline we have, you'd be like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, this is the next level of DeFi. Like, we're just going to blow it open. So, because like this first apartment we're tokenizing is only 600,000, but in the pipeline, I can say this, like they're starting to get bigger and bigger, like multi-million-dollar developments and across Southeast Asia. But obviously, like, Australia is huge with real estate and investment, and Europe. So yeah, everything. So what I would say, 1 to 1.5 million for the licenses, and then 1 million or so we'd need just for our small team to give us like 18 months runway and just go out and smash it.
Good. Thank you, Chris, for answering. And I think, given that we are way out of time, the rest questions you continue to answer in private mode. And I'm super excited to see that some of the investors presented here already gave me feedback for introductions with the startups. So it seems that this night I will be doing introductions. Very proud of the startups here. And before we finish, one advice from each investor. Guys, what will you advise for startup founders, those that are here and those that are watching us on YouTube, who are developing DeFi, NFT, crypto startups, and who are approaching professional investors like you? So one advice that you would like to share. And I want to ask Yushan, because he needs to go to sleep very soon. So Yushan, could you please start with your advice?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your consideration. Yeah, it's really late. So my advice is simple. So focus more on community and make sure that you have enough users and you have enough people to use your product instead of just beautiful product without any users. Yeah, this is my advice.
Thank you very much. It's very wise. Thank you, Yushan. And
thank you, everyone.
I see Tom wants to add something.
Yeah, sure. Well, I think the most important thing that I would share is make sure you're building something which adds value to the space. So don't try to copy all the best aspects of other protocols or other ideas and combine them and then hope it takes off. Make sure you're adding something new, and then the users will come. DeFi especially is completely community driven. So make sure you are listening to the community and your users, and then they will reward you for it, I think.
I like that you are very much aligned with each other, with Yushan, on this aspect. Thank you, Tom. And other advice?
I'd like to add there, have a plan for the bear market. everything is rosy and beautiful right now, right? Everybody's a financial genius. Everything seems to be going up, but have a plan for the bear market. I'm looking for founders that have a plan for that. Once the market corrects, investors run away, community is no longer like as happy and enthusiastic as the beginning. Have a plan when the music stops, and be ready to take your project to that bear market. And if you're able to do that, the sky is the limit. Have a longer plan.
Super, Etienne. Thanks a lot. It's super smart, and it is related not only for crypto sector, but also for any kind of businesses. I guess everyone understands this. I see that Alex wants to add.
Yeah, well, I would recommend you to focus more on strategic investments. Yeah, because right now in this market, we can projects easily can find a fundraise. Yeah, in several days or in several hours. I would really recommend you a lot to focus on strategic investments and investors who can bring you a lot of additional values. Yeah, because I believe investments, it's not only about money, but if not just, but at least probably much more about additional value, advices, and support.
Great advice, Alex. Thanks a lot. And I'm super proud that both you and other investors we have here in Zoom are to be considered as super serious strategic investors with great added value. So thanks a lot for that. Jonathan, Luca? Yeah, it seems that they are not unmuted. So I think that we are way out of the time. And I want to say big thank you to each and every investor who is here. Guys, some of you don't sleep because you are here, and I appreciate it a lot. You already received from our side all the startup profiles with the pitch decks, with everything, and I will gladly start introducing you with the founders directly as soon as I get your feedback. And I will also appreciate your feedback privately about the quality of startups deal flow and how could we make these sessions even better and more efficient. And congratulations to the startup founders. You made great job, each of you, and I know you can do even better. So I will come back to you very shortly with good news and introductions with investors, and hope that we will see the deals closing very soon. So have a great day, night, and in whatever time zone you are. And thank you very much. See you on the next sessions. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
We have finished for the day.